Chapter 1 Invincible Background, Reject System Binding at the Beginning. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Damn it, I've time traveled. And it's the strongest family in the heavens, the son of the eternal Yi family God Emperor, that one Yi family. In the main hall of the Yi family, there are many elders, who are surrounding a baby who is still in its infancy. They love it like a treasure, their eyes are bright, and they like it very much. However, they didn't know that the baby's heart had already set off a turbulent sea, and he couldn't calm down for a long time. The baby's name is Yi Tian, and he came across from a blue planet. In his previous life, he was a social animal worker squeezed by capital, all kinds of 996,007, the soul hunting assembly line, the ghost workshop in the dark, the cycle of life and death in 2 shifts, sleepless nights, and food, and nothing to say that no salary increase for overtime work, and hand cramps from hitting screws. To live a new life, Yi Tianxia made up his mind to lie down and never struggle. It's strange, the patriarch is the current God Emperor, the strongest monk in the world. Why is his heir just a mortal body with mediocre aptitude? The head of the family is the current God Emperor, and the eldest wife, the holy master of Yaoqi, is also a peerless fairy. Logically speaking, she shouldn't have given birth to such an ordinary child. Point 2 elders said in a flat tone. Humph, so what about mediocre aptitudes? Since ancient times, talented people have been like shooting stars, but how many of them have achieved great fame? My eternal Yi family rules the heavens, so what if the young master's aptitude is mediocre? Wouldn't it be good to live a happy life? My Yi family can protect him forever. Besides, my eternal Yi family will always have a way to change the young master's physique. If anyone dares to disrespect the young master in the future, he will be killed without mercy. A few majestic elders spoke out and scolded Yi Tian, who looked like a porcelain doll, loved him very much, and even wanted to kiss him. Mediocre, my eternal Yi family is enough to protect him, and I can also keep him walking sideways in the heavens and worlds. So what if you need such a high talent? It's better to live happily ever after. And Yi Tian got a general understanding of the new world based on the conversations of many elders. This is the eternal immortal realm, with 3,000 Dao realms, all kinds of ancient evil places, and the universe and starry sky. The Huangyi family he was in the Tianxian Dao domain, Huangji state, the strong respect, the weak prostrate, the law of the jungle is the only rule. But, it doesn't seem to have anything to do with him. My family was invincible before I was born. Is this the script I can get? The Huangyi family he belongs to dominates the heavens and the world, and is recognized as the strongest force, which will remain unchanged forever. His father, Yi Junlin, is the current God Emperor, the strongest monk in the world, bar none. Her mother, Yu Liuli, is the holy lord of Yaoqi, who controls Yaoqi and governs countless small worlds. There are thousands of female disciples under her banner, all of whom are beautiful and beautiful. Elder sister Yi Qingxian is a witch from the ancient Forbidden Land. She is unparalleled in beauty, rare in the heavens, unparalleled in talent, truly unparalleled, and the younger generation is the strongest. What else is there for a cousin whose talent in alchemy is superior to the past and present, a cousin who is full of talent in swordsmanship, a cousin who is second only to the witch's sister in beauty, a cousin who is powerful in the business world, and has industries all over the world, and, these people in the family, if you just pick one out, they are all perfect protagonist templates. At this moment, a mechanical voice sounded in his mind. Ding, congratulations to the host for successfully traversing, the invincible system is being bound. Ding, the binding is successful, this system will be dedicated to helping the host reach the pinnacle, achieve the highest achievement, and create a name of invincibility. As long as the host completes the tasks issued by the system, he will be rewarded, otherwise he will be punished. The system's voice fell, but there was no curiosity or question from the host. That's not how the story goes. Shouldn't the host be shocked or puzzled? Why, my host bird doesn't even give me a bird. Hey, I'm the system, please show me some respect. It seems that it is impossible not to give some benefits. Ding. Congratulations to the host for binding the system, I hereby reward the beginner with a big gift package. Is it open? Hurry up, don't bother me. Yi Tian cursed in his heart, he was planning his own plan to lie down, and yet there is a system to disturb him. It's really unlucky." The system was speechless and didn't know what to say, but Yi Tian preemptively struck. "Hey, you're the system." Yes, it's just you. Hurry up and untie. I want to lie flat. Don't try to disturb my plan. And the whole reward and punishment mechanism, your set is outdated. And, my background is invincible, my father is still the strongest in the heavens. What do I need you for? That a set of output is directly dry fire to the system CPU. Ding ding ding, ding ding ding, the system program is out of order. Ding ding ding, the background of the host is too powerful, the system is not suitable for it, so turn on automatic destruction. Ding ding ding, destruction failed, destruction failed. Open the second plan, the system is being upgraded. Yi Tian's heart trembled, and he was a little puzzled. This system should be upgraded instead of being destroyed. Forget it, as long as it doesn't affect his own performance, let him go. Ding, the system has been upgraded successfully, and the name has been changed to Lai Ping Invincible System. As the name suggests, the host is responsible for lying flat, and the system is responsible for invincibility. System upgrade, unlimited automatic sign-in mode is on. Automatic sign-in can be performed anytime, anywhere, even without confirmation from the host. Yi Tian smiled inwardly. This system is a bit interesting. Automatic upgrade is fine, but for his sake, unlimited sign-in, no need to click to confirm, really comfortable. Ding, sign in automatically, congratulations to the host for getting, double pupil. Ding, sign in automatically, congratulations to the host for obtaining, fairy bone. Ding, sign in automatically, congratulations to the host for getting, the best face in the world. Ding, sign in automatically, congratulations to the host for getting, the strongest love in history. Ding, sign in automatically, congratulations to the host for obtaining, the first skill in the ages, Chaos Heavenly Emperor Ju, that the sound of the system's reminder keeps ringing, and the sign-in is constantly being carried out. I let you untie it, but you still want to upgrade it, it's annoying, Forget it, as long as you don't disturb me, the rest is up to you. Turn off the sign-in notification, it's too noisy, it affects my sleep. And Tongzi, those things you signed in, put them in the system space if they are temporarily useless, don't merge them. I want to lie flat, that if outsiders were to know Yi Tian's inner thoughts, they would definitely shout shit, and the worldview would collapse. Only the few treasures obtained by signing in the system just now are considered top in the heavens and worlds, and they are rare in the world. Ordinary Tianjiao, if they get one or two of them, they will dive into the dragon's gate, transform into a real dragon, and suppress all enemies in the world. But in Yi Tian's place, they are like unremarkable garbage, and they don't even want to merge, but, the system is quite obedient, and immediately turned off the prompt sound of the infinite sign-in mode, and put all the artifacts obtained from sign-in into the system space, and Yi Tian was still a baby at this time, so he wanted to enjoy it more, and when he was about to fall asleep, there was a stormy wave above the hall. Where is my son? Cultivation realm, chi and blood, awakening, shackles, enlightenment, supernatural powers, shrines, saints, holy kings, holy emperors, supreme, great emperors, true gods, god kings, gods, god emperors, God's emperor, shoulder-to-shoulder avenue. Chapter 2 The Tao is afraid, the world-destroying thunder calamity, the god emperor slaps away with. You are listening at novelfull.audio. In the hall, two figures appeared. One is handsome and extraordinary, with sword eyebrows and star eyes, wearing a white robe, like a sword fairy in the world. The other person is a woman, wearing a long phoenix dress, engraved with gold silk, and has a slender figure. After seeing these two people appear, all the elders of the Yi family kowtowed in unison, clasped their fists together, and said respectfully, "See Patriarch." "See Madam, that the man is the Patriarch of the Yi family, the God Emperor Yi Junlin, and the woman is Yu Liuli, the Lord of the Holy Land of Yaoqi. What's the noise? It's making my child sleep." The two looked at the milky white child, and they loved it very much. "This is my Yi Junlin's child, even if it is a mortal body, so what? Why don't we call it Yi Tian, which means that my son is in the heavens and worlds, and he is the absolute heaven, that Yi Tian was a little troubled, just about to sleep, who disturbed his clear dream. Feeling displeased, he opened his eyes in boredom. Could it be, this is his cheap parents in this life, the current God Emperor and the Holy Master of Yao Qi? Seeing Yi Tian staring straight at the two of them, neither crying nor fussing, Yi Junlin and Yu Liuli's hearts almost melted. This is my Yi Junlin's child, even if his talent is mediocre, he is still the young master of the Yi family. I, Yi Junlin, will keep him safe for the rest of his life. If anyone is disrespectful to him, he will be killed. As the voice fell, runes circulated outside Yi Junlin's body, laws entangled, and a powerful coercion swept away. The majesty of the God Emperor can destroy the sky and destroy the earth, and no one can match it. I will follow the orders of the Patriarch. Whoever disrespects the young master will be killed. Numerous elders responded, their voices were like thunder, rolling out, and this conversation, without the slightest concealment, spread throughout the entire Wanguyi family like Huangzhong Dalu. Hearing this, countless disciples knelt down, not daring to raise their heads. Young master, the background really is monstrous. There is a God Emperor Father and Holy Master Mother, who dares to provoke them in the future. I am tired of work. Immediately knelt down and said, I will respect the young master. The young master's life is the destiny. That the sound waves rolled, one after another, resounding in Wanguye's house, but at this moment, above the endless sky, a pair of blood-colored eyes also opened above the sky, with murderous intent, staring at Yi Tian above the main hall of the Yi family. A terrifying and trembling voice sounded. Yi Tian, the newborn baby of the Yi family in the past, is an anomaly in the past, and is not under the control of Tao, so he decided to send down the thunder disaster to kill him. As soon as these words came out, everything was silent, the world turned pale, and the entire eternal immortal realm heard about it. A powerful person looked up at the sky, and after seeing the blood-colored pupils, he exclaimed, Isn't this the blood-colored eye of God? It is said that the world-exterminating eye is in charge of killing instead of Tao, that there are supreme emperors and even figures who have become gods. Piercing through the endless void, looking in the direction of Wanguye's family in Huangji State, under the attention of everyone, Yi Junlin stood up slowly and pointed to the sky with one hand. With me, Yi Junlin, here today, the heavens can't touch my son. Then both feet stepped into the air, turned into a streamer, flew into the void, and powerful power swept across, like a supreme god. Damn it, is my cheap old man so fierce? How dare you go against Dao Dao? Yi Tian was terrified in his heart. He heard that his father was the current God Emperor, the strongest in the heavens, and invincible under the starry sky, but he didn't expect that his father would dare to be tough with the Tao. With such an invincible background, he is not even afraid of Tao, so he still needs to practice a hammer. Put it badly, lie flat, enjoy life comfortably, isn't it fragrant? Immediately, he said to the system in his heart, Tongzi, what do I need you for? With my father around, I can't even move me. Hey, forget it, I won't talk about it, I'm afraid I will hurt you. Ding ding ding, the system program is out of order. Ding ding ding, the host father is too awesome, the system is starting to upgrade. Ding ding ding, the system is being upgraded. Ding ding ding, the system has been upgraded successfully, and the invincible defense mode is turned on. Invincible defense mode, the host will ignore all fatal damage. If you suffer fatal damage, it will trigger the system's counterattack mechanism and kill your opponent with one blow. It has been upgraded again, and it is still an invincible defense mode, ignoring all fatal injuries. Yi Tian was speechless. This system must be too competitive. Whenever someone compares it, they want to upgrade and surpass it. Forget it, as long as it doesn't affect him lying down, whatever. And above the endless sky, the law of destruction raged out, the void collapsed and turned into a black hole. This power was too terrifying, even the emperor would be instantly killed. In the center of the bloody eyes of the gods, thunder and lightning surged, and a thunder dragon with hundreds of feet appeared, wrapped in purple thunder calamity, followed by the power of destruction, destroying everything. The thunder dragon rushed down, shattering and rotten, unstoppable. Wherever it passed, the runes were vertical and horizontal, and the space was broken. A powerful person exclaimed, "This is too terrifying, far from being humanly invincible, that even the strongest who have stepped into the realm of gods, under this thunder dragon, I am afraid they will only turn into dry bones in the tomb." Just as everyone was paying attention, Yi Junlin was dressed in white, floating like dust, like a fairy in the world, with staring eyes, sweeping across the world. The Tao is nothing more than mediocre. Yi Junlin pushed out his palm horizontally, facing the endless sky. Between the vast world, a giant palm print emerged, chaos raged, immortal energy surged out, and the world seemed to be easily collapsed. One thought opens chaos, one thought destroys the world. The giant palm print and the 100-foot-long world-extinguishing thunder dragon bombarded together. Boom! That everyone looked again, and the world-destroying thunder dragon, which was hundreds of feet long and powerful, had disappeared and turned into nothingness. Between the heaven and the earth, there is only one white dress, which will last forever and be invincible, like a god. Just as everyone in the Yi family cheered, Yi Tian was about to go to sleep. "Since I was born, I haven't had a good sleep, and I can finally sleep peacefully." Yu Liuli looked at the child in her arms. She also loved it very much, and kissed it, but at this moment, a figure emerged from the darkness of the main hall, shrouded in black mist, with blood-colored pupils, holding a dark blade. Squinting his eyes slightly, looking at the child in Yu Liuli's arms, he felt determined to kill. Stepping out in one step, traveling through the space, not even a 10 millionth of an instant, is not far from Yi Tian. Suddenly, many elders and Yu Liuli did not react. The black sharp blade stabbed at Yi Tian, which was a full blow from the powerful god. Under the realm of Shinto, no one survived, let alone a newborn baby. At the very moment, outside Yi Tian's body, light flickered, and a shield of golden light rose. It actually offset all the damage of the black sharp blade. An array of light burst out, directly piercing through the eyebrows of the strong black-clothed god. Until his death, the strong man in black didn't understand what happened, but Yi Tian was not in danger, and just reacted. No wonder the system voice suddenly sounded in my mind just now. Ding. The invincible defense mode is activated. Ding. The system senses that the host is about to be fatally injured, and the system automatically counterattacks, obliterating the attacker. Many elders and Yu Liuli were amazed when they looked at the powerful god who was already lying on the ground, and then at the baby who was still in its infancy. The godly and powerful man wanted to assassinate Yi Tian, but not only failed, but also died for no reason. And all this happened in an instant, and they didn't have time to react. Immediately, he shifted his gaze to Yi Tian. This kid is definitely not as ordinary as he looks on the surface, and he definitely has a secret around him, but no matter how they searched, they couldn't find out. Even using the Yi family's secret technique, they couldn't get a clue. And Yi Junlin, after resisting the catastrophe, returned to the hall. After learning about the situation, he first grabbed the corpse at this moment with one hand, and used the technique of reincarnation to search for souls to spy on the forces behind it. I want to see what kind of force dares to touch the son of the God Emperor. Chapter 3 Stunning Cousin, Alchemy Genius, the strongest alchemy mode. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Damn it, be bold. It's nothing more than a restricted zone in the Sea of Blood. I was expelled to the frontier by my emperor 10,000 years ago, and now I dare to attack my son. Oh, it seems that there is no need for the Blood Sea restricted area to exist in the world. Yi Junlin sneered, and the corners of his mouth curled up a bit, which made people shudder. On Yu Liuli's pretty face, there was a little worry. No one knew him better than her. If he knew that someone had attacked the child, he would definitely punish his entire family and destroy his lineage. Take good care of the child. Blood Sea Forbidden Zone. After half a month, you will be removed from the eternal immortal realm. Overbearing, the arrogance from the current God Emperor. If you dare to touch his child, then destroy his restricted area. When the words fell, Yi Junlin disappeared in place, but actually escaped into the space to calm down the restricted area. Be safe. Before Yu Liuli could speak, she looked at the child in her arms. Son, as long as you live your life happily and happily. With your parents around, no one can touch you. Tears welled up in Yi Tian's eyes, and he was quite moved. She made up her mind and said, Mother, don't worry, the child will never disappoint your expectations, just lie down and live this life happily." At this moment, an elder beside him said, "Mistress, something important happened in your Yaoqi Holy Land, and they urged you to return to the Holy Land, saying that the Holy Master must preside over the overall situation. It just so happens that the young master's cousin is here. Why don't you entrust the young master to her care?" That Yuliuli froze in place slightly, looking at the baby in her arms. The corners of her lips were bitter, but she was helpless. "Holy Land, probably that guy has a problem and needs her to go back. Tiana, mother loves you and wishes to stay by your side all day, but mother also has her own difficulties." And that elder also summoned Yi Tian, his cousin, in this short period of time. "See elders, see mistress." Then a beautiful figure appeared, with a slender figure, extremely glamorous, white teeth, thin red lips, and eyes like crystal gems, which made people intoxicated. This person is Yi Tian's cousin, named Yi Linglong, who is unparalleled in appearance and amazing in talent. Among the younger generation of Eternal Immortal Domain, they are well known and can be called the top. After saluting, he immediately paid attention to Yi Tian in Yuliuli's arms. Just this moment is frozen forever. Yi Linglong focused on cultivation and never had any other hobbies. After seeing Yi Tian today, her heart trembled slightly, and she loved it from the bottom of her heart. That milky little face, soft little hands, and saliva flowed out when she smiled. Seeing this, Yuliuli handed Yi Tian into Yi Linglong's arms, and Yi Linglong also liked the milky white child. She even teased her with her slender hands, then hugged her into her arms. Yi Tian originally slept soundly in his mother's arms, but he suddenly felt aggrieved and had difficulty breathing. He knew in his heart that all of this was due to his cousin's broad mind, so he could only complain silently, blah blah. The more Yi Linglong watched it, the more she liked it, and couldn't help but smack Yi Tian's forehead. Yi Tian had no choice but to use this to test the baby. That baby couldn't stand such a test. "In that case, please take care of the child." After Yuliuli explained the situation, Yi Linglong obeyed and wished to take good care of Yi Tian, but, the bottom of her heart is extremely happy. Such a cute baby, she can't wait to bring it up with one hand. Yi Linglong immediately brought Yi Tian back to her bedroom. It happened to be sunset on the western mountain, and the dark night was approaching. Hey, my dear brother, let my sister touch it." Yi Linglong put Yi Tian on her bed. In her own territory, she didn't need to restrain herself. She immediately revealed her true nature. That night, Yi Tian felt extremely exhausted. After being tortured by Yi Linglong, he even fell asleep in his arms in the end. If that's the case, that's fine. The key. Seeing that he was a baby, Yi Linglong was not at all on guard, and treated him sincerely. "Ha, my brother smells so sweet, and my sister will hug you to sleep in the future. By the way, your cousin will come later, that is the alchemy genius Yi Dan, who is so proud of his talent in alchemy. We're going to compete and discuss on alchemy. Brother and sister will put you next to me when the time comes." Yi Tian rolled his eyes. Alchemist is an incomparably noble profession, which has nothing to do with the strength of one's cultivation. The elixir is divided into 4 grades of Tiandi Xuanhuan. Above the heavenly grade, there are holy grade elixir and the highest grade god grade elixir. It's just that the top alchemists in Eternal Immortal Domain can only refine the holy elixir. According to Yi Linglong, when his cousin Yi Dan was born, he was surrounded by alchemy, and he was born with an alchemy divine body. When he was 1 year old, he liked to smell the fragrance of pills. When he was 3 years old, he loved all kinds of pill materials, and when he was 5 years old, he officially embarked on the road of alchemy. With his extraordinary talent, he became the top alchemist in the Eternal Immortal Domain at the young age of and he can refine holy medicine pills. Yi Linglong carried Yi Tian to a square, and with a flash of white light, a man appeared in front of Yi Linglong with a handsome face and high spirits. It was Yi Dan. First pinched Yi Tian's small face, and then said, "It's not too late, Linglong, let's get started." There were many disciples around, and they gathered together, wanting to see what Yi Linglong and Yi Dan were going to do. Among them was even an elder from the alchemy hall. Yi Linglong first put Yi Tian on an open space. Afterwards, Yi Linglong and Yi Dan each took out a large cauldron. They are all 3-legged and 2-eared, surrounded by runes, exuding a simple atmosphere. Could it be that Miss Linglong and Mr. Yi Dan want to discuss the art of alchemy? That a young disciple below said. His eyes were shining brightly, he was concentrating and wanted to watch. After all, the two are very accomplished in alchemy, especially Yi Dan, who can refine holy medicine at a young age, comparable to the top alchemists in the fairyland. The two didn't talk nonsense. They took out the medicinal materials they prepared earlier, put them into the cauldron, sacrificed the sacred fire they got, and started alchemy. The two poured mana into it, and then concentrated their minds and concentrated on it, for fear that there would be a slight omission. Yi Tianbai watched boredly, feeling very bored. How could alchemy be such a boring thing? Is there only one fixed mode of alchemy? He really wanted to experience it. I have mediocre talent and a mortal body, even if I want to go up to make alchemy, I can't make it. Forget it. With my cousins around, I can eat the elixir as jelly beans every day, enjoy it as I like, and don't have to work hard at all. Ding ding ding, the system program is out of order. Ding ding ding, the host cousin's alchemy talent is superb, too awesome, the system will automatically upgrade. Ding ding ding, the system has been upgraded successfully, and the strongest alchemy mode has been activated. The strongest alchemy mode, for the host, any elixir is like a child playing with mud. It can be easily refined, no. It can be squeezed out by hand, and it doesn't even need medicinal materials and elixir fire. Hearing the voice in his mind, Yi Tian was speechless again. Is this system so competitive? I saw that his father was awesome before, so I upgraded him to the Invincible defense system. Now seeing that his brother is good at alchemy, he upgraded the strongest alchemy system for him. Tongzi, life is about lying flat, don't be so competitive, but since the strongest alchemy mode is turned on, why not try it with soil? At this moment, Dan Cheng, Yi Linglong and Yi Dan both took out a pill from their alchemy tripods. Immediately, the fragrance surrounds the entire square. The strong fragrance of Dan makes people feel calm. However, the elixir in Yi Dan's hand has 8 elixir patterns. Yi Linglong, on the other hand, only had 6 pill patterns in her hand. As expected of Mr. Yi Dan, you have made another step on the road of alchemy. Miss Linglong is not bad either. Both parties are refining Tianpin pills, which are very fragrant. Many Yi family children were amazed, and they became more and more admirable for the two. Look, what is the young master doing? However, at this moment, the elder of the alchemy hall seemed to have discovered something and exclaimed. Chapter 4 Alchemy in Mud, the heavenly product at your fingertips, shocked the world. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Following the elder's exclamation, everyone looked intently. On the open space where the young master was, everyone saw a shocking scene, which they will never forget in this lifetime. The young master Yi Tian, who was still wearing diapers, actually, played with mud, but it's fine if you play in mud, after all, it's a baby's nature. But Yi Tian broke ordinary people's cognition. With his small fleshy hands, he picked up the dirt, paved it, and rubbed it repeatedly. The most important thing is, the soil rubbed by Yi Tian's hands is slowly forming, about the size of a longan, emitting a rich fragrance, as if he is in a sea of flowers. Could it be, the young master is trying to make alchemy? Could it be that the young master saw Miss Linglong and Mr. Yi Dan making alchemy, suddenly became interested, and wanted to follow suit? Seeing this scene, no matter it was Yi Linglong, Yi Dan, or the rest of the disciples, they all broke their defenses and opened their mouths as if they could swallow an egg. As for the elder of the alchemy hall, his eyes almost popped out. I heard that today Yi Linglong and Yi Dan, 2 peerless alchemy geniuses, are going to compete with each other in alchemy skills, so I came here to observe, but he never expected that he would witness such a wonderful scene with his own eyes. It's just, appalling, unbelievable. Little ancestor, this is, making alchemy with clay. Alchemy, since ancient times, even the top alchemy masters have not dared to make such a big deal. What's more, your cousin is still the #1 alchemy among the younger generation. I have never seen alchemy with clay. No raw materials are needed. What do you want to refine? Mud balls. It didn't take long, but he was relieved. After all, he was a baby with a lot of curiosity, and it was normal to learn from others. Hey, it's just a baby after all, it's still suitable for playing in mud. The elder of the alchemy hall smiled wryly. No matter what, He thought that the young master was playing with mud, and Yi Tian didn't pay attention to the crowd, needing the mud pill in his hand. Feeling that something was missing, he took out his portable feeding bottle from the system space and poured it on the Naiwan. This scene directly shattered the three views of the audience. Even Yi Linglong couldn't help but blushed. She played with mud and poured milk on it, especially the elder of the Alchemy Hall, who blew his beard and stared, his eyebrows raised in anger. Can this still be alchemy? It is simply profane, the word alchemy. And, it's okay to just use mud, but what's the way to pour milk on it? But at this moment, Yi Tian's chubby hands suddenly burst into light, very dazzling. Seeing this situation, everyone was dumbfounded. Where did the light come from? And in Yi Tian's chubby little hand, he held a round, elixir, and the elder of the alchemy room came to Yi Tian's side, and first paid homage. Meet the young master. Then he looked at the elixir in Yi Tian's hands and shook his head. This is not an elixir, it's just a mud ball made by children playing with mud. However, why did this mud pill glow? Yi Linglong also smiled awkwardly. The rest of the onlookers also laughed. Their young master is really cute. I learned from others, although I didn't refine the elixir, but the clay pellets I needed were not bad, they were perfectly round. But, Yi Dan was the only one who didn't laugh. It seemed that something was wrong. His eyes were wide open. He stared closely at the pill in Yi Tian's hand, and his breathing became short of breath. He was the #1 alchemist of the younger generation at that time, the top in the world, able to refine the holy medicine. In this era when divine elixir is not available, he is one of the top group of alchemists in the eternal immortal domain, and his vision is naturally extraordinary. Immediately squatting down, holding Yi Tianrou's small hand, staring at the elixir, exclaimed, "Cousin, you are clearly an alchemy genius who is 1 in a billion. Master Yi Dan, are you crazy? This is just a mud pill, what kind of medicine is it?" The elder of the alchemy room frowned. "Elder, look, this elixir, although it looks ordinary, contains astounding power inside. And there is no pill fragrance or pill pattern. No matter how rubbish the pill is, even if it is the worst, there will be pill pattern. If it's just a mud pill, then what's going on with the brilliance and the shocking power that's shown inside? This is clearly the highest level of alchemy, back to basics. The elixir that can reach the realm of returning to nature can only be refined by an unparalleled genius in alchemy. And, this is very likely to be a Tianpin pill." Hearing what Yi Dan said, the elder of the alchemy hall was about to stop breathing. His face was horrified. "Tianpin elixir, this is so ridiculous, it is simply a fantasy." And Yi Tian had already been embraced by Yi Linglong again, secretly marveling in his heart, "My cousin is really not simple, he can see the extraordinariness of this mud ball at a glance." However, the strongest alchemy mode of this system is really easy to use. You can rub the mud to get the heavenly pill. "Master Yi Dan, I understand that you are the top alchemist in the world, but you can't open your mouth to talk nonsense. Tianpin elixir, which can only be refined by top alchemists, how could it appear in the hands of a baby who is only 2 days old? Even your innate alchemy body was only refined when you were 15 years old." The elder of the alchemy hall seemed to have heard a big joke. A 2-day-old baby is refining Tianpin pills. Is he crazy or the world is crazy? The most important thing is that they didn't refine it at all, it was clearly squeezed out of mud. Oh, if it's true or false, you can tell it at a glance. It is rumored that once the Tianpin elixir that has reached the realm of returning to nature is born, it will trigger the vision of heaven and earth. As long as I inject mana into this elixir, I will know the result. Yi Dan didn't say much harsh words, he stretched out his fingers and poured mana into the pill. The brown mud pill kept trembling at first, as if a great evil was born. Then, the extremely terrifying power erupted from the elixir, like thunder, with a mighty power. At the same time, above the sky, there was a billowing purple breath, like a tide. Wisps of purple air converged into a river, blooming like bright flowers between heaven and earth. The rich Danxiang seems to have broken through the confinement of space and circulated throughout the Wangui family. Anyone who smells this elixir will immediately feel the benefits to their minds, and they must improve their cultivation. In the alchemy hall, there are many elders with shocked faces, looking into the distance. The legendary elixir has been born. My Eternal Yi family actually has someone who can refine the elixir that returns to the realm of innocence. Follow me to find it. But in the square, the elder was so ashamed that he lowered his head, ashamed to see others. A baby who was born less than 2 days ago actually needed a tianpin pill out of clay. Ha ha ha, Yi Dan, I knew it was you. At this moment, the great elder of the alchemy hall and others came here. After seeing Yi Dan and others, they were extremely happy. I thought it was Yi Dan who refined the elixir of returning to nature. After all, except for Yi Dan, there is no other such peerless genius. But Yi Dan shook his head, looked at Yi Tian, his eyes were full of surprise and relief, and explained the situation to the elders of the alchemy hall, and the great elders of the alchemy hall were shocked when they learned that the young master who was born less than 2 days ago used clay to refine the heavenly elixir back to nature. His teeth were about to fall out of shock, his face was extremely surprised, and he didn't know how to describe it. This is simply ridiculous. If it hadn't come from Mr. Yi Dan, I would rather die than believe that there is a baby less than 2 days old who can refine the elixir of returning to nature. This is simply a miracle, enough to be recorded in the annals of history. The great elder of the alchemy hall almost plucked off his beard, returning to the basics and returning to the true elixir, not to mention tianpin. Almost no one can refine it today, but it was kneaded out by a baby with clay. The great elder of the alchemy hall stared at Yi Tian with scorching eyes, as if seeing a treasure, and couldn't put it down. Yi Tian lay in Yi Linglong's arms, sighing helplessly in his heart. This dog system doesn't do human affairs. I've said that I'm going to lie down and let myself die, so why do you always work hard for yourself? Be a low-key person. At this moment, a servant came to report and said to the great elder of the alchemy hall, Elder, the mistress has returned from Yao Qi. It seems that there is something urgent to summon you. The old man is going now. Miss Linglong, please take good care of the young master, he is the hope of our alchemy world in the eternal immortal realm. Chapter 5 Lunar Holy Body, Cold Poison Enters the Body, Fusion Fairy Bones. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The reddish sunset slowly fell, and the night covered the earth like a dark abyss. After this incident, the corners of Yi Linglong's lips curled up. Looking at her extremely cute cousin, she took a few more mouthfuls and brought her back to her bedroom. Little brother, it's time to sleep. Yi Linglong treated each other with sincerity, and hugged Yi Tian into her arms. It stands to reason that practitioners, eating xia zhaolu, no longer need to eat and sleep like ordinary people, but his cousin is different. She not only needs to satisfy her appetite, but also needs to plan her work and rest, and the other geniuses of the same generation practice day and night. And they were almost becoming training machines, Yi Tian thought in his heart. He must lie flat and die, eat and sleep well. Isn't he delicious? Why bother to practice hard and be a ruthless training machine? Yi Tian was extremely aggrieved. His cousin's broad mind and towering mountains were simply not something a baby like him could bear, the key point. Yi Linglong still loves him very much, wishing she could hug him tightly. Yi Tian wanted to cry but had no tears. But he tiptoed, kicked left and right, and left his embrace. One accidentally fell off the bed, but was lifted up by a light energy and slowly placed on the jade floor. Fortunately there is a system. Yi Tian rolled his eyes. Since he was born, he has always been in someone else's arms. He is also very curious about the outside environment. After all, it is normal for a brat to be curious, so twisting its short limbs, it crawled out, tiptoeing. After a stick of incense passed, Yi Tian had already crawled about 2 or 3 steps away from an adult. The system can't seem to stand it anymore. Ding! In view of the embarrassment of the host, the system decided to upgrade. Ding! The system has been upgraded successfully, and the infinite shuttle mode has been activated. Infinite shuttle mode. No matter what age you are, you can walk 100 times faster than normal, and you can also ignore space obstacles and cross all obstacles. Yi Tian's chubby little face was about to turn red with anger. He was only 2 days old. What kind of plane do he need? Nice to be able to crawl. The dog system still thinks he is slow, and said he was ashamed. This account will have to be settled sooner or later. As for now, let's go outside first. Yi Tian crawled again with his short limbs. but his speed was more than 100 times faster, and he ignored obstacles and could shuttle directly. In an instant, she crawled out of Yi Linglong's bedroom. Seeing this, Yi Tian sighed inwardly. This dog system is still useful, just provide him with more convenient services in the future, don't keep upgrading this and that for him, or it will be too conspicuous, and it will not be easy to lie flat. Then he continued to crawl on tiptoe and fumbled. After half a stick of incense, Yi Tian stopped outside a palace on a treasure island. It's so hot in here. Will there be any adventures? Go in and have a look. Yi Tian directly ignored the obstruction of the wall and entered the interior of the palace. However, after seeing the scene in front of her again, she was dumbfounded. Inside the palace, it was extremely hot, and everywhere was filled with fire stones that created hot temperatures, and in the center, there is a woman, 28 years old, wearing an ice blue fringed dress, with a very tall figure. Her slender and snow-white legs are curled up, looming under the skirt. The slender waist was bound by an ice blue jade belt. She has a beautiful face, delicate red lips, and snowy skin, but the cold eyes reveal an extreme chill that makes people dare not approach her. But, at this moment, this woman is short of breath, her face is painful, her clothes are disheveled, and she is dripping with sweat. Her arms and legs can be seen between her sleeves, her buttocks and breasts are upturned. No, don't come here. After seeing Yi Tian, this beautiful woman didn't even have time to wonder how such a baby appeared in such a closed space. Instead, he whispered, warning Yi Tian not to approach. She was originally the Saintess of Yaoqi Holy Land, named Yao Shi, who was carrying the Lunar Holy Physique, which was one of the top 3,000 physiques and was hard to find in several ages. He could have galloped all over the world, crossed his peers, and had a bright future, but there is a disadvantage of the Lunar Eucharist, that is, there is a cold poison in the body, and generally speaking, it cannot survive. The previous outbreak of cold poison was suppressed by the Lord of Yaoqi and the ancestors of Yaoqi Holy Land, but this outbreak of cold poison is so serious that even the ancestors of Yaoqi Holy Land are helpless. Holy Master Yuli returned to the Holy Land, and after learning about the situation, she immediately brought her back to Wan Guye's house, intending to seek medical treatment. The Holy Master first put her into such a closed space made of fire stones, and then went to find many elders and ancestors of the Yi family. Unexpectedly, before waiting for the Holy Master, a baby unexpectedly arrived. Fuck, system, why is she in such pain? Is there any way? Yi Tian hurriedly asked the system. Ding, this girl is the holy girl of Yaoqi, she is pregnant with the holy physique of Taiyin, and the cold poison in her body is too strong. If there is no means against the sky, I am afraid it will be difficult to survive tonight. The Saintess of Yaoqi? Isn't she my mother's disciple? No, I can't just stand by. Ding, it is recommended that the host fuse the fairy bone and absorb the cold poison through the power of the fairy bone. In this way, the cold poison of the Saintess of Yaoqi can be eradicated, and the cold poison can be transformed into ice power for the host to use. Yi Tian was speechless after hearing what the system said. Is this dog system intentional? If he merged with the fairy bones, wouldn't his aptitude skyrocket? How can I lie flat in the future? Forget it, let's merge. Human life is at stake. The big deal is to keep a low profile in the future and not show off the mountains and dews. Then he sighed secretly in his heart. Hey, the road to ruin is a heavy responsibility and a long way to go. Ding, please lie in the arms of the Saintess of Yaoqi, and have skin-to-skin contact, so as to absorb the cold poison. Yi Tian crawled with his fleshy little hands, and slowly approached the fairy girl of Yaoqi. Yaoqi was unconscious, but after seeing such a small baby crawling towards her, she panicked. The distance is so close, it will definitely be infected with cold poison. Although he wanted to stop it, his whole body was weak and powerless, but the baby didn't seem to be affected at all, and it crawled into his arms. Yaoqi smiled miserably. She never expected that at the last moment of her life, the whole world would turn her away. Only this little baby is willing to get close to him. Then he hugged the baby and smiled softly. Not long after, those eyes, which were like colored glaze, slowly closed. The chill around her body became more and more violent, as if she was going to wrap the saint in ice. before Yaoshi lost consciousness, she smiled and said to Yi Tian, "Little brother, thank you." Yi Tian also hurriedly urged in his heart, "Dog system, hurry up and fuse the fairy bones. Ding, start to fuse the fairy bones and absorb the cold poison." Chapter 6 The Power of Ice, Successful Fusion, Intends to Get Married. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Suddenly, a warm spiritual power slowly flowed out from Yi Tian's heavenly spirit. It circulates in the limbs, internal organs to warm and nourish the meridians. At the same time, the immortal energy is shining, flowing with immortal light, and the body is like crystal jade, which attracts people's attention. I saw. On Yi Tian's chest, thousands of immortal lights slowly appeared, shrouded in multicolored rays of light, and there was a crystal-clear jade bone surrounded by runes, exuding a terrifying aura, as if a true god advent. Immortal bone, the real supreme physique, has infinite supernatural power, and contains innate treasures, which is extremely terrifying. The moment the fairy bone appeared, the yin and yang forces in the entire space were balanced, and the extreme yin and extreme yang became extremely soft and gathered together. The beautiful face of the Yaoqi Saintess who had passed out was slightly relieved, and her expression was no longer as painful as before. Yi Tian's expression is also very enjoyable. In the process of fusing the immortal bones, it is not as painful as imagined, but extremely comfortable, which is many times better than the service in the foot-washing city in the previous life, and at this moment, an extremely cold aura emanates from the delicate body of the Saintess of Yaoqi, which is bitingly cold and breathtaking. The power of cold ice radiated in the void, and frost condensed out, vividly carved and falling. Even those fire spirit stones lost their original luster. The fire spirit stone is a precious treasure condensed from pure fire elements, emitting divine light and sparkling fire. Just one piece is enough to turn a radius of 100 miles into a fiery purgatory, let alone so many. However, under the erosion of the cold poison, the fire spirit stones are all dimmed. From this we can see that the cold poison is terrible. If there is no fairy bone, Yi Tian's baby body may be frozen in an instant. Into ice sculptures, the moment the cold poison appeared, the fairy bone seemed to sense something. The radiance was shining, the fairy mist was lingering, and the cold poison was slowly receding. Extremely cowardly, a strange force manifested, turning Yi Tian's little baby body into a bottomless black hole, as if it could swallow everything in the world. Inside the delicate body of the Saintess of Yaoqi, there was an icy blue silk thread pulled out by the fairy bone. Even if she tried to resist, it still didn't help. Yi Tian fluttered his big eyes, thinking that the ice blue silk thread could be the cold poison in the body of the fairy maiden of Yaoqi, and the fairy bones are constantly shining brightly, and the runes are running, incorporating the coldness of bone removal into the bones. Such a process was extremely boring, and Yi Tian had nowhere else to go except to feel the coldness of his body. Yi Tian slowly closed his eyes. He might as well lie flat and sleep. Half a day passed, the morning mist pierced the morning light, and the world gradually became clear. In the secret room, the clothes of the Saintess from Yaoqi are half undressed, her pink is exposed, which has a special flavor. A moment later, when the morning sun shone on her pretty face, the saint slowly opened her eyes, which were bright and clear like crystals. "Hey, I'm not dead. The cold poison broke out, and the gods couldn't save it. I survived," the Saintess of Yaoqi thought in amazement. The corners of her lips parted slightly. It was inconceivable. Then he checked his body, but suddenly his eyes widened and he froze in place. "The cold poison in my body is completely healed." The cold poison in the body of the solar ecclesiastical body is hard to be cured by gods, and there is almost no other way except to neutralize it with the original power of the solar ecclesiastical body. Huayu and tears flowed from the corners of the eyes of the holy girl of Yaoqi. She was tortured by this cold poison for 16 years. For 16 years, the pain that penetrated the bone marrow day and night was like 10,000 worms devouring the heart and 10,000 beasts biting. Now, it's somehow better, and Yi Tian seemed to feel the changes in the outside world. His sleepy eyes opened, glowing with golden light, covered with dense runes, like a child of a god. The chubby little face is like precious jade, exuding the fragrance of milk, extremely cute, with swaying limbs. It caught the attention of the Saintess of Yaoqi. she was so excited just now that she didn't pay much attention to the baby in her arms. At this glance, he was immediately fascinated, the chubby little face, and those watery eyes, and, I don't know if it's an illusion. This baby gave her a very intimate feeling. The Saintess of Yaoqi smiled, and for a moment, the sky and the earth paled, and the brilliance of the sun and the moon were not worth mentioning. Even Yi Tian couldn't help being stunned, thinking in his heart, this saint is really the most beautiful girl in the world. Fortunately, I have good concentration. System, are you determined? I can't bear to expose you. What do you want to do with a baby who is only a few days old? Little brother, you are really my sister's lucky star. Although I don't know why you are here, but my sister's recovery from the cold poison has something to do with you, right? That the holy maiden from Yaoqi hugged Yi Tian, shook her, and gave a mouthful. The Saintess of Yaoqi has no resistance at all to such a cute younger brother. Yi Tian was speechless. This guy has never taken care of a child, right? If he shakes a baby like this, he won't go dancing. I thought in my heart that someone should come and rescue him. At this moment, the door of the secret room opened, and a person walked in with graceful steps, wearing a long phoenix dress, with slender legs, graceful and luxurious, like a noble queen. It was Yi Tian's mother, Yulioli. When he came to the center of the secret room, he saw Yao Shi, who was full of energy and spirit, with a baby in her arms. His eyes flashed and he widened slightly, but he couldn't believe it, as if it was a miracle. Immediately released his consciousness to observe Yao Shi's lunar body. Cold poison disappeared, and it disappears forever. How can this be? In addition to neutralizing with the source of the solar sacrament, what other method can radically cure the cold poison of the sun? What's more, the solar ecclesiastical body is also difficult to appear in several eras. Almost, the sun and the moon appear in this world at the same time, which is extremely rare in countless ages. Its difficulty, comparable to the sky. As everyone knows, all of this is a good thing he did. See Lord Holy Master. After Yao Shi saw Yulioli appear, she immediately knelt down and bowed her head. Yi Tian, who was being held in her arms, also appeared in the field of vision and was seen by Yulioli. Heaven! Yulioli exclaimed, waved her hand, and quickly hugged Yi Tian into her arms. Yulioli observed and checked Yi Tian carefully, for fear of being hurt a little. Son, how did you come to this secret room? Yulioli was extremely concerned, but seeing that Yi Tian was fine, she relaxed her mind and immediately asked the Saintess of Yaoqi. Yao Shi, your cold poison. Reporting to the Holy Master, last night was like 10,000 insects devouring my heart. I was in extreme pain and passed out. When I woke up today, the cold poison disappeared. Yao Shi answered truthfully. Yulioli didn't understand either, and fell into deep thought. This matter was so unbelievable that even she, a powerhouse standing at the pinnacle of the world, couldn't believe it. No problem, since the cold poison has been cured, you don't have to suffer from the cold poison in the future. Then he looked at Yi Tian dotingly. As you can see, he is my child, named Yi Tian. Yao Shi lowered her head, her heart was filled with turbulent waves. What she was embracing just now was, the son of the Holy Lord. The two of you are predestined. How about, this Holy Master decides to make a baby kiss for you. Chapter 7 Saintess Fiancee, the Grey-Robed Boy, Dugu Sword God. You are listening at novelfull.audio. When Yulioli said this, it wasn't just the Saintess of Yaoqi who was stunned, even Yi Tian was stunned and didn't react. I thought to myself, Mom, I'm still a baby a few days old. Yi Tian was laughed at by his mother who had a strange brain circuit. He was only a few days old, and he was thinking of an arranged marriage. Originally, he was very disdainful, but he looked at the profile of the Yaoqi Saintess. Well, it's not impossible. And Yulioli, as the Holy Lord who governs one of the Holy Lands, is the most powerful in the world, and the God Emperor is at the peak. How could he not know the reason behind it? Her move was also deliberate. Yao Shi is the Saintess of her Yaoqi Holy Land. Marrying her to the young master of the Wangi family will allow the Wangi family to firmly control the Yaoqi Holy Land. What's more, Yao Shi is pregnant with the holy body of Taiyin, which is rare in several ages, and has pure Taiyin. Yuanyin in her body. If you can double cultivate with them, it will be of great benefit to the other party. it can greatly improve its cultivation base and improve its qualifications. There are many wonderful things that cannot be repeated one by one. My child's talent is mediocre. If he can get the Xuanhuan of the holy physique of Taiyin, it will be of great help. And Yaoshi struggled, bit her upper lip lightly, a little tangled. It's not that she doesn't want to, but that the other party is only a few days old baby. I am 16 years older than him. Isn't this an obvious old cow eating young grass? But, he is the son of the Holy Lord of Yao Qi and the current God Emperor, and his status and background are definitely the top of the world. If you wave your hand, there are countless imperial daughters of the ancient country, fairies of the ancient clan vying to be her maids, let alone fiancés. Yaoshi was caught in a tangle. At this moment, the voice of the system sounded in Yi Tian's mind. Ding, this woman is actually hesitant to become the host's fiancé. Ding ding ding, the system is being upgraded. Ding ding ding, the system has been upgraded successfully, and the Taoist partner attraction mode is turned on, and the world's best appearance is automatically integrated. Mate attraction mode, for monks of the opposite sex, the host will have a natural attraction. After the system's voice fell, suddenly, outside of Yi Tian's body, there was a faint halo of light, shining and shining, with a dusty aura. Due to the fusion of fairy bones, there was a wisp of fairy energy entangled outside. Although Yi Tian is a baby, his charm has skyrocketed. Even Yulioli has an illusion. Hey, Tianer seems to be cuter. This is true for the most powerful people at the peak of the God Emperor, not to mention the lower-level Yao Qi Saintesses. Looking at Yi Tian in a blink of an eye, he felt more and more that the baby was destined for him, and somehow wanted her to play with it. Immediately, he gritted his teeth. Follow the orders of the Holy Lord. Yi Tian scolded in his heart. Dog system, I want to put it on the back burner, please don't be so high-profile. He was speechless, and set up a way to attract Taoist companions for himself. In the future, if you attract monks of the opposite sex, if you are a married woman, wouldn't you be forced to be a thief? He just wants to lie flat. Is it that difficult? With this model, there will be less trouble for women in the future. Okay, if that's the case, after Tianer's coming-of-age ceremony, the Holy Master will personally preside over the engagement for you. Tomorrow we will leave for the Holy Land of Yao Qi, bring this news back to the Holy Land, and let the whole world celebrate. Seeing that Yaoshi agreed, Yulioli was in a good mood and wished to release the news immediately. But after thinking about it, we should wait for Yi Junlin to come back and discuss more. Mistress, I'm negligent, I deserve to die. Yi Linglong fell to her knees, sweating coldly, her delicate body trembling. She did not expect that at midnight, Yi Tian, a baby, could overcome many obstacles and escape from her bedroom. Fortunately, he was safe and sound, and there were no accidents. Otherwise, she will die. If something happened to Yi Tian, she was sure. Yi Junlin and Yulioli will definitely overthrow the entire eternal immortal realm. Humph, the death penalty is inevitable, but the living penalty is inevitable. I'll give you a chance to make meritorious deeds and take good care of the young master. Today's event, I hope there is only one time, Yulioli said in a cold voice. The voice was like thunder and lightning, with overwhelming power. It made people shudder. Yi Linglong's whole body was drenched in cold sweat. She was terrified, and the corners of her mouth trembled as she said, "Thank you, mistress, for your kindness." Yulioli snorted coldly, then turned into a ray of light, and went to talk to Yaoshi about some related matters. After returning to the Holy Land, Yi Linglong looked at Yi Tian in her arms, and smiled helplessly. Little ancestor, cousin's life almost fell into your hands. My sister has to hug her tighter at night from now on. Yi Linglong was full of complaints. It was the first time she was tricked by a brat. Originally, he still had some resentment towards Yi Tian, but for some reason, the moment he saw Yi Tian, the resentment disappeared, and he was glad that the little ancestor was safe and sound. System, brother's new model is something you can resist. Knowing that he was wrong, Yi Tian couldn't help but glance into the distance, but because of the baby's body, Yi Linglong didn't think much about it. She just thought it was the baby's restlessness. Be quiet, little ancestor. At the same time, in a deep mountain in Wanguye's house, fierce beasts roam freely. all spirits are active and full of vitality, there are green vines as thick as horned dragons, entangled on ancient trees, and there are monster snakes the size of buckets, entrenched in hidden bushes, waiting for an opportunity to give their prey a fatal blow. Among them, there is a young man in a large grey robe, with a heroic face, eyes as sharp as a knife, and a 3-foot sword in his hand, sitting cross-legged here, exhaling the aura of heaven and earth, casting it in the spiritual sea of Dantian. It seems to merge with the surrounding world and become a heaven-slashing sword. At this moment, there was a giant black snake whose cultivation had reached the level of supernatural powers. It spit out a snake letter, its eyes were fierce, and its black scales shone coldly. This is the black water snake, with a trace of the blood of the ancient Ting snake in its body. It is extremely powerful, and can dominate a mountain. Finally, at the moment when the young man finished breathing, the black water snake's eyes widened, overflowing with murderous intent. It surged out like a dragon going out to sea. Heading straight for the young man, the grey-robed boy's eyes froze, and the divine sword was drawn out of its sheath in an instant, and the world was turned into nothingness. The sword glows soared into the sky, piercing the void with radiance, and a miserable roar of beasts resounded through the heaven and earth, making one's heart palpitate. When the light dissipated, the young man was holding a long sword, and under his feet was the corpse of the black water armor snake. The scale armor, which was extremely strong like black iron, was chopped into pieces by countless sword lights. Trials in the family are not exciting. Hey, there are no challenges. It's better to call some old friends to talk about Kendo. This boy is Yi Tian's cousin, named Yi Jianshan. According to the rumors, the talented swordsman is proud of the world, and he is self-reliant on Yi Jianshan, the Dugu sword god, among the younger generation in the eternal immortal domain. He has a great reputation and is recognized as the #1 Kendo of the younger generation. It just so happens that the son of the god emperor has been born, and it's time for me to visit my lovely little brother. If your talent is acceptable, why not come and study the Tao of Sword with me? Chapter 8 Genius Sword God, Friends Visiting, Full-Level Kendo Mode. You are listening at novelfull.audio. In Yi Linglong's bedroom, Yi Linglong was playing with Yi Tian's chubby face. Yi Tian was speechless for a while. He had been a human being for 2 lifetimes. How could he be treated like this? It's like treating him like a 3-year-old child. No, he's just a baby, not even 3 years old. At this moment, a voice came. Linglong is really leisurely. Yi Jianshan's eyes were sharp. He looked all around with a frightening aura, and came outside Yi Linglong's hall. He is a sword god. How can he enter the women's bedroom? So it is better to wait outside the palace. How come the sword god is free to come here today? Yi Linglong carried Yi Tian out of the palace gate and asked calmly. Obviously, Yi Linglong also knew about Yi Jianshan. His talent in Kendo surpasses the past and present, and he is the #1 Kendo of the younger generation in the world, and his name is like thunder. I heard that the son of the patriarch was born not long ago, so I came here to visit. Yi Jianshan clasped his hands slightly, showing great respect. The lingering sword intent all over his body is extremely tyrannical and splits the space. Yi Tian blinked his big eyes and looked curiously. Fortunately, he knew that this was the Wang Yi family, otherwise he would have thought that this person was an assassin from some other force. Ha ha ha, this is my cousin Yi Jianshan, right? Although it is a baby, it is not afraid of life, and its eyes are bright but like a sword out of its sheath. Good. Yi Jianshan hugged him from Yi Linglong's hand, and the more he looked at it, the more he liked it, and even felt that he had the demeanor of a sword god. He couldn't put it down even more, and pinched Yi Tian's small face with his right hand. Yi Tian was speechless, even extremely angry, wanting to yell, "Ah, why does everyone want to pinch my face?" Ever since he was born, his parents pinched his face. Cousin likes to pinch his face, and then he was pinched by the Saintess of Yaoqi, and now he is pinched by his cousin. Then it occurred to him that his cousin, named Yi Jianshan, possesses the body of a sword god. He is said to be the #1 swordsman of the young generation in Xuanhuan. Even those Taishan Beidu of the older generation in the field of Kendo are full of praise for him, threatening that Yi Jianshan will become a peerless sword god in the future. Perhaps feeling the sword god temperament exuded by Yi Jianshan, the system's voice sounded again. Ding ding ding, feel the oppression of the sword god. Ding ding ding, the system is being upgraded. Ding ding ding, the system has been upgraded successfully. and the full-level Kendo mode has been activated. The host has the strongest swordsmanship talent in ancient and modern times. Any swordsmanship can be seen at a glance. In the future, if you practice to the extreme, you can open the gate of heaven with one sword, and kill the way of heaven with your sword. Yi Tian was stunned for a moment, and cursed in his heart, "Dog system, why are you so competitive? I just want to lie flat and rot, is it that difficult?" Just feeling his cousin's sword god body and the supreme swordsmanship talent, he needs to have what other people have, and directly open the full-level swordsmanship mode. Any sword technique can be mastered with just one glance. How heaven-defying this is, I can't even imagine it, ignoring the martial arts and supernatural powers. As long as it is the way of the sword, it can be integrated with just a word. Even his father Yi Junlin, who is the world god emperor, definitely did not reach such a level. However, his appearance hasn't changed significantly. I don't know how talented the young master is in swordsmanship. Can you study the supreme swordsmanship with me? Yi Jianshan looked at Yi Linglong curiously and asked, his eyes hopeful. Sword god, are you stupid playing with swords? The young master is just a baby who was born a few days ago. Even if he has a talent for swordsmanship, he still can't show it. Yi Linglong said speechlessly, her eyes seemed to be looking at a fool. I was so excited that I couldn't speak enough. But when Yi Jianshan was teasing Yi Tian, there was a majestic and fierce voice, which filled the void and was extremely terrifying. Sword god, here we come. Yi Linglong and Yi Tian looked around, and 3 people appeared in the void in front of them. Yi Tian blinked his big eyes and looked at several people. He can feel that these people are the real pride of heaven, and all of them are the pride of heaven who practice the way of sword. That kind of bitterness can only be manifested by the swordsman. Li Tianyun, the holy son of Wanjianzong, Jian Jiufeng, the young master of Tianjian Villa, and Jian Wuxuang, the young master of Xianjian Pavilion, why are they here? Yi Linglong said puzzledly, but didn't pay much attention to it. This is the eternal Yi family, who would not dare to act recklessly despite the hundreds of millions of guts of outside forces. They are all close friends of mine on the Tao of the sword, and each of them has made great achievements in the field of sword Tao, and they are far from being comparable to those who have gone to work. Yi Jianshan smiled freely, very happy. Several of them are well-known sword masters in eternal immortal realm. They are addicted to cultivation on weekdays, and it is almost difficult to get together. What's more, 4 people gathered at the same time. Yi Jianshan, long time no see. I can feel your unparalleled sword intent even through the endless void. It seems that your swordsmanship has improved. Fellow Taoist praised you, but he is just a Kendo explorer. Several people greeted each other, as if they were old friends they hadn't seen for many years. At the same time, seeing the baby in Yi Jianshan's arms, he became very curious. This baby is surrounded by immortal energy, and his blood is like a river, so it must be extraordinary. After Yi Jianshan's introduction, several people knew that this baby was the son of the current god emperor. No wonder he was so powerful. At the same time, he thought to himself, the god emperor of the world is recognized as the most powerful of the heavens, and his son, after his birth, did not make a big publicity in the immortal realm. There was a reason for the incident, and several people were puzzled and didn't know why, but they didn't think much about it. The forces behind them are friendly with the Wanga Yi family, so there is no need to worry about the Yi family's big plans. Just after a few people greeted each other, Jian Wuxuang, the young master of Xianjian Pavilion, suddenly said, Sword god, the world respects you as the #1 Kendo of the younger generation in Xianyu, and I would like to ask for advice today. As soon as this remark came out, all the people present were silent. Li Tianyun and Jian Jiufeng looked at each other in blank dismay. It seemed that the rumors were true. The young master of Xianjian Pavilion, Jian Wuxuang, is arrogant and unparalleled in the way of the sword. He does not think that Yi Jianshan is the #1 in the way of swords of the younger generation, and he is slightly dissatisfied. Oh. Then fellow Taoist Xuanhuan wants to. Yi Jianshan's eyes turned hot, and the corners of his mouth curled up slightly. He has been invincible for a long time in the field of Kendo. It would be nice if he could have a smooth battle with Jian Wuxuang today. No. The sword god misunderstood. In recent years, I have created a set of swordsmanship and stepped out of my own way of swordsmanship. I hope you all have a look. Xuanhuan raised his jaw slightly, his eyes were sharp like a divine sword. Hearing this, Jian Jiufeng and Li Tianyun looked at each other, slightly surprised. Xuanhuan unexpectedly walked out of his own way of swordsmanship and created his own swordsmanship. Although they are about to step out of their own path of swordsmanship, they are still a bit inferior. No wonder he is not convinced by Yi Jianshan. He has the capital. Even the two of them had to admit that Yi Jianshan and Xuanhuan were indeed ahead of them. Everyone, take care, this is a self-created sword technique, called the three swords of the end of the world. The sword's edge shines coldly in the sky, and the sword's energy crosses the heavens. Xuanhuan drew out his long sword, the sword glowed into the sky, and the runes flickered. On the endless sky, the heaven and the earth were separated in a short moment, but disappeared in a blink of an eye. The essence of swordsmanship, changing the sky and changing the earth, stealing the sky and changing the moon, arouses the vision of heaven and earth in an instant. Seeing this scene, Li Tianyun and Jian Jiufeng were dumbfounded. The three swords at the end of the world are incomparably exquisite, indeed extraordinary, and can temporarily induce visions. The two of them, if they have another half a year, they can reach this level, but if it is now, it is a bad move, and he is left behind. Even Yi Jianshan frowned slightly, paying attention. If Xuanhuan used this move, even he would find it difficult. But Yi Tian, who was in Yi Jianshan's arms, was not surprised when he saw this sword move, and thought it was ordinary. I was just thinking, the system's full-level Kendo mode is said to be easy to see at a glance. Why don't you feel it? How should it be displayed? Could it be? Chapter 9 Peerless Swordsmanship. You can know it at a glance, shocking everyone. You are listening at novelfull.audio. I wonder if this Jinya swordsmanship can be learned at a glance. Okay, let's test the water with the three swords of the end of the world. Yi Tianzheng was thinking like this. Just now he saw Xuanhuan's Jinya three swords. On a whim, he wondered if he could grasp this peerless swordsmanship created by himself at a glance. Yi Tian slowly closed his bright eyes, and many pictures flashed in his mind. He actually had a sense of playback. Xuanhuan's sword skills were quickly replayed in his mind, and even the movement of spiritual energy in his body was perfectly reproduced. The chubby little hand stretched out and waved. It's just a baby. Everyone thought he was hungry and needed milk. Even Yi Linglong thought so, and was going to get the bottle to feed Yi Tian. However, Yi Jianshan noticed something tricky. His eyes flashed, and he immediately called Yi Linglong to stop. Wait, the young master is not hungry. He is actually learning swordsmanship. As soon as these words came out, not only Yi Linglong, but Xuanhuan, Jian Jiufeng, and Li Tianyun were all stunned. Their jaws almost dropped to the ground. What? Brother, he is practicing swordsmanship. No. Impossible, he's just a baby. There is no aura in the body, and even the most basic supernatural powers cannot be used. How can I try to use swordsmanship? Yi Linglong felt as if she was in a dream, and felt the unreality of this world. It's fine for a baby to be able to make alchemy, it can only be attributed to the unparalleled talent. How about being able to practice peerless swordsmanship without cultivation? It's so ridiculous, I can't believe it. How can that be? This kind of swordsmanship is Jinya three swords. At this moment, even Jian Jiufeng and Li Tianyun sensed something was wrong. The sword technique used by this baby was exactly the same as Xuanhuan's, but isn't Xuanhuan's own swordsmanship? Yi Jianshan's face remained calm, and his behavior remained the same, but deep in his eyes, he couldn't hide the look of surprise. Jinya three swords is indeed Xuanhuan's self-created swordsmanship, and no one has learned it, but Yi Tian is actually familiar with the use of the car, with both body and spirit. In this way, it can only show that when Xuanhuan used the sword technique, Yi Tian learned it at a glance. How is this possible? I simply don't want to believe it. Peerless swordsmanship can be mastered at a glance, even if Yi Jianshan, can never do it. A baby who was only a few days old has such aptitude for swordsmanship, shocking the world. There is no doubt that this is a rising star in the field of Kendo. Buzz. In an instant, the air split, the void trembled, and the space was distorted. The sword glowed everywhere, shining brightly all over the world. A flash of extreme light divided the space around Yi Tian into two halves. as if to divide yin and yang, although it was only for a short moment. It shocked everyone. This is just a baby. It is simply an eternal evildoer. Even Yi Jianshan, who is revered as number one in Kendo of the younger generation, pales in comparison. My 3 swords at the end of the world. Is that how I learned it? Jian Wuxuang's eyes dimmed, he let out a long breath, and his spirit instantly sank down. Was still unconvinced by Yi Jianshan's title of number one Kendo of the younger generation, thinking he could surpass it. He is extremely confident in the 3 swords of the end of the world that he created himself. Unexpectedly, I just performed it once, and was actually learned by a baby. Fellow Taoist Wuxuang, your self-created swordsmanship is still not good. After being glanced at by a baby, I will learn it. Tsk. Yi Jianshan said. The words did not have the meaning of sarcasm, but it was so harsh to Jian Wuxuang's ears. Fortunately, Jian Wuxuang has a firm heart, so he created his own swordsmanship and was learned at a glance. The big deal is to create a set of peerless swordsmanship. If it were an ordinary Tianjiao, I am afraid that the heart of Tao will be broken, leaving disasters on the road of cultivation. I didn't expect the son of the God Emperor's swordsmanship to be so powerful. My eternal immortal domain Sword Tao domain, a giant star is about to rise. Seeing this, Li Tianyun and Jian Jiufeng said with a smile, fisted with both hands, and said very respectfully, nor are they small-minded people. It is also very happy to meet such a peerless swordsman. Yi Linglong, on the other hand, was disheveled in the wind, her hair was fluttering, and she was full of thoughts. No, isn't the little brother mediocre with no special physique? Why? In terms of alchemy, can you easily make a return to the original nature of heavenly pills? And in the field of Kendo, can one learn peerless swordsmanship at a glance? Besides, he's just a baby. Is this something a mediocre baby can do? Even those top talents who have been famous for a long time are hard to come by. Now he doubts the authenticity of the words of the God Emperor and the Holy Lord. No, my younger brother might be a peerless genius. But for the safety of this peerless arrogance, to prevent him from encountering calculations and dangers on the road to growth, he is deliberately packaged as an ordinary aptitude. Yi Linglong thought in her heart, combed through thousands of possibilities, and had a rich imagination. If Yi Tian knew his inner thoughts, he would be shocked. Cousin, it's a pity that you don't want to be a screenwriter. At this moment, Yi Tian felt extremely uncomfortable, wishing to wash his face with tears, surrounded by a group of people watching. It's like monkeys in a zoo. Cursed in his heart, dog system, don't you know that I'm going to lay down? How many times have I said to keep a low profile? Why are you so high profile? It's still at the full level of swordsmanship mode, and the peerless swordsmanship can be mastered at a glance. Look, it's too eye-catching. Yi Tian cursed angrily in his heart, wanting to cry but no tears. It's really eye-catching. The eyes of these swordsmen are as if they are looking at a beauty who has bathed in the pool, and they can't wait to slice him up for study. Sword God, you have to train the son of the God Emperor well. This kid's swordsmanship talent is unparalleled in ancient and modern times, and unique in all ages. It's too powerful. If it grows up, it will be a generation of eternal sword emperor in the future. Jian Wuxuang, Jian Jiufeng and Li Tianyun looked at Yi Tian carefully as if they were treasures. Yi Linglong thought to herself, if they knew about Yi Tian's peerless talent in alchemy, their jaws would drop in shock. That's for sure, the young master's swordsmanship is far superior to mine. The body of the sword god is far inferior to him, not even worthy of lifting shoes. The corners of Yi Jianshan's mouth curled up, almost reaching the ears. With a bright smile, I just came to pay my respects to my cousin, but unexpectedly discovered that the swordsman is a world-shattering genius, and this trip has yielded a lot of rewards. It seems that the number one position of the younger generation of Kendo will soon be shifted, but there was no reluctance in his heart, and he was even extremely happy. The son of the God Emperor is indeed extraordinary. The son of the God Emperor, the talent for swordsmanship is astonishing in the past and the present. There is no doubt that he is the genius embryo who learned the supreme swordsmanship from my sword god body. Yi Linglong watched this scene, speechless. I vaguely remembered that Yi Dan still wanted to take this kid to practice alchemy. A baby who was born a few days ago surpassed the two peerless geniuses repeatedly in terms of talent. This this is called mediocrity. Chapter 10 The Peerless Arrogance Scrambles, the elders are shocked, shaking the past and shining th. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Yi Dan, I'll just say it once. The young master is the peerless master of swordsmanship, and the best way out is to practice the way of swordsmanship. Fuck, you are a sword idiot who knows nothing. The young master is the future hope of the alchemy world in the fairyland. The future master of alchemy, only alchemy, is the most suitable for the young master. In the Xuanhuan family, above a large hall, two peerless geniuses with delicate features and frightening eyes were arguing fiercely, and their faces were flushed red, like a peddler in the market. They were so quarrelsome that they wished they could fight on the spot and fight with each other for rounds. The two are Yi Dan, the number one alchemist of the younger generation, and Yi Jianshan, the number one swordsman. Beside him were some young disciples, as well as Yi Linglong, who was speechless. Holding the culprit in his arms, Yi Tian, it turned out that Yi Tian was in the field of Kendo, and learned the peerless swordsmanship at a glance, and used it, and Yi Jianshan planned to train him as a swordsman. Unexpectedly, when Yi Dan found out about this, he was extremely angry, a majestic alchemy genius, and was taken to learn Kendo. The young master should follow him to learn the knowledge of alchemy, and in the future, he will be famous in the field of alchemy and become a great master of alchemy. The two confronted each other on the main hall, making a big noise. One refused to accept the other. They don't want to miss such a peerless genius. Yi Tian was bitter in his heart. I just want to show off. Why did I become the peerless arrogance in your mouth? And Yi Linglong looked at Yi Tian, who was harmless to humans and animals in his arms, and had clear eyes. I was secretly shocked in my heart. I was born only a few days ago, and I let the two peerless arrogants snatch it up, trying to bring it into my field. If these are all ordinary talents, then what about them? I am afraid that after so many years of cultivation, they have all cultivated to dogs, and the surrounding disciples were also puzzled and very puzzled. I don't understand why Yi Dan and Yi Jianshan, who are both peerless talents, are so noisy. There is a great momentum to act when there is a disagreement. It is rumored that the young master is a person with ordinary aptitude. Why did he attract two peerless geniuses to compete for it? I can't wait to snatch it on the spot. The smell of gunpowder is too strong. Why don't we go up and persuade him? You don't want to live anymore, kid? Which one of the two Tianjiao can we afford to provoke? That's right, gods quarrel, mortals suffer. Be careful that someone will chop you with a sword. A young man originally wanted to go up to persuade a fight, but after hearing what everyone said, he immediately stopped and watched the play silently. At this moment, the void in the hall twisted, and two figures appeared, surrounded by divine brilliance, with a terrifying, ancient and sacred aura. It was the third and fourth elders of the Xuanhuan family. See the two elders. See the two elders. Many Yi family disciples immediately bowed to see and saluted respectfully. Yi Jianshan, Yi Dan, and Yi Linglong cupped their hands to show their respect. They are all key disciples of the Xuanhuan family, with amazing talents, and they have made great contributions to the Xuanhuan family. There is no need to pay homage to the elders, only salute to the head of the family, the mistress, and the ancestors of the Yi family. After the two elders appeared, they immediately stopped the quarrel between Yi Dan and Yi Jianshan. It's just that the two were not convinced by each other, and still stared at each other with fierce eyes. Seeing this, the third and fourth elders were quite amused and shook their heads slightly. They're not kids anymore, but they still play like kids, but also asked with concern. Sword God, you are all the sons of the Yi family, why are you so noisy? Oh, the young master is an amazing swordsman, he should follow me to study the supreme swordsmanship, but Yi Dan wants to lead the young master to learn alchemy. Isn't this a mistake? You know, the young master was born only a few days ago, but he can learn and use the peerless swordsmanship at a glance. The talent of swordsmanship is unique in ancient and modern times, Yi Jianshan said. His words were sharp and full of aggression. But as soon as this remark came out, everyone except Yi Linglong remained silent, too shocked to speak. What, to learn peerless swordsmanship at a glance, is this something a baby with no cultivation can do? Even the third elder asked, Sword God, this joke is not funny. When Yi Tian was born, he and the fourth elder were present, so they naturally knew that Yi Tian's talent was mediocre and he had nothing to do. How could it be possible to learn peerless swordsmanship at a glance? Isn't this a joke? Sword God's words are true, I can testify. Yi Linglong spoke out to testify for her. The third elder almost plucked off his beard, and his eyes almost popped out in shock. The fourth elder was not much different, and he was extremely shocked, and he hadn't lost his composure like this for a long time. Even the two elders are like this, let alone those disciples. I even felt like I was dreaming, it was too exaggerated. However, Yi Tian in Yi Linglong's arms was about to collapse, and his big, watery eyes were about to drip water. He cursed in his heart, low key, I want to lie down, I don't want to be high key. Damn dog system, it keeps giving me an upgrade mode, which makes me show myself in front of people all the time. Woo, why is it so difficult to lie flat? Yi Dan refused to accept, and said loudly again. What do you know? Kendo is just a reckless behavior after all. The young master is called the hope of the alchemy world in the fairyland by the elders of the alchemy hall. One day ago, I used clay to knead the Tianpin pill that has reached the realm of returning to nature. Even if I have the alchemy body, I am far inferior. It's just a waste of talent to learn swordsmanship. If you learn alchemy, you will become a great master of alchemy in the future. Hearing what Yi Dan said, the two elders silently moved their eyes to Yi Linglong. I saw Yi Linglong nodded, indicating that what Yi Dan said was true and there was no falsehood. The third elder had tears in his eyes. He never thought that the young master would be such an almighty and peerless arrogance. These kinds of things are inconceivable and unbelievable for a 20-year-old Tianjiao. What's more, it was a baby who was only a few days old, but they had checked Yi Tian's qualifications a long time ago, and it was indeed a mortal body with nothing to say. Even the head of the family, Yi Junlin, found out that it was a mortal body. Could it be? Patriarch is deliberately hiding the young master's peerless talent, and doesn't want to publicize it. The third elder and the fourth elder looked at each other with cunning eyes, thinking they had guessed the result. Ahem, stop making noise. What kind of avenue the young master wants to learn is not something we can control. What's more, the young master is just a mortal body, and his talent, well, average. Relevant matters will be discussed in detail after the patriarch returns. You two also stop arguing, so as not to hurt your peace. The third elder said solemnly, and then left with the fourth elder, preparing to explain the matter to the other elders. By the way, think about how to build a good relationship with the young master. When Yi Jianshan and Yi Dan heard about it, they had no choice but to give up. They snorted coldly at each other and left quickly. It's not about giving up, but going back to prepare the relevant magical treasures, and let the young master play another day. Well, child, just follow me with a crutch. Finally, it was quite clean, and Yi Tian's ears felt very comfortable. Yi Linglong looked at the cute baby in her arms. How long has it been? And it has become a favorite. No, absolutely not to those guys. Or let someone sleep with you in the future. They all had their own little calculations, trying to abduct Yi Tian to their side. Yi Tian, I just want to show off, please give me a chance. Little brother, in a few days, your rich cousin who has property all over the world will come back to her family. Don't be watched by others. Otherwise, who will my sister hug to sleep in the future?